I love printing. I love printing. I love it. I love printing. Hey, everybody. I want to welcome you back to another session of Printer to Printer with me, Warren Werbitt, also known as the Print Whisperer. Today, we have Robert Anderson of Prisma. Welcome.
Thank you, Warren.
So
Appreciate it.
Sorry, on your website, it says powered by Prisma, but the name's Prisma, right?
Correct. It's powered, yeah. And we Prisma's powered by the people here, and that's what we help our clients bring it to market with, powered by, right?
Oh man, love it, love it, love it. So I will tell you, when I knew we were speaking, I went to your website right away. And the first thing when I looked at the website was, oh my God, he's not a printer. Who told me he was a printer? And then of course I dug in, and you are a printer of all printer, and you do and everything. But you know, I'm spend my time telling print owners, get the equipment off your website. Only people that love equipment are owners. No one else could appreciate it. But in looking at your website, and you do direct mail, technology stack, print, your menu management, large, blah, blah, blah. Tell us what you do.
Yeah. So when I talk about it, I talk about supply chain marketing, right? And I believe we're a media company. We compete against TV, radio, direct, all different facets. But when I look at it, our supply chain, what we do is we do marketing supply chain for large customers all across the United States. And that could be direct mail, that could be print on demand, that could be pick and pack and fulfillment. But that's really what we do really well. We just happen to have the machinery behind it to execute quickly. And that's why we've had such great success.
Wow. How long have you been around?
So Prisma's been around 43 years. I've been grateful to have it for the last 23 years. I took it over when it was doing $1 million in sales. Don and Sally Frank started it in 1980. She was the first woman owner of a printing company in Phoenix.
Cool.
They grew it and they sold it to some employees in 97. Employees got in trouble. They came back in 99, turned it around. Employees left with all their customers. They happened to know me, called me in 2000, a friend of mine. We came over, we took it over in March of 2000, doing $1 million in sales, grew it to just shy of 90 million for this year. That's our goal this year. 2 locations, Phoenix and Nashville.
I tried to get something out, but 1 to 90, that's pretty cool, 90 million.
Yeah.
Before the 2 locations, how many employees in the operation?
So 350 here in Phoenix, and we have 50 in Nashville.
400 employees. I had 120, and I have no hair left.
I have gray hair. I've got gray hair.
I'm jealous.
Yeah. So at least I got hair, but it's gray. Yeah. So cool. Norwegian blonde. Let's do it that way. How about Norwegian blonde? So
okay, right. that works too. That works too. Right. So we were chatting before, and you're into the whole tech side of thing in print, right? So just give us a little, give my million listeners, I wish I had 1 million listeners, a little bit of a snapshot of what it is that you guys like, how you use it, what you do.
Yeah, so we're tech enabled. That's what I talk about. And we use technology to do deliverables for our clients, right? Whether it's data for direct mail, whether we're buying lists and doing a DM360 where we're tagging on a Facebook, Instagram ad with a direct mail piece, YouTube. And then on top of that, so we mail over 10 million to 12 million units a month out of Phoenix and also Nashville. And then we also do online, and DocShop, our online, we've been doing for over 23 years, web to print for enterprise clients, about 10,000 print on demand pieces every month, another 10,000 pick and pack off the shelf, and also 10,000 digital downloads. So our clients download ads. They can also download something to print someplace else if they need to. But that's really the kind of level of work that we do for our clients.
Wow, that's a lot of stuff. It's a lot of stuff, a lot of departments. And in terms of equipment, you're running everything?
Everything. So heat set web, perfecting. Well, let's put it this way. Everything's perfecting. So one and done. So perfecting heat set web, digital web screen, 2 Komori perfectors, and then 2 HPs for our digital, along with some Ricos and smattering others. So everything we have is perfecting. So one and done. We don't have production meetings. Everything is run through Pace, and Pace is our software we run to do job costing and management, and then we use PrintFlow for scheduling. So there is no what I consider a production meeting. It's what you see coming up is what you're going to work on.
Wow. And how long have you been so engaged with all the technology and the production?
So I think when I look at it, I was at a large company before, Synveo. I really wanted a website to do web to print back in the late 90s. And so when I got to Prisma, that was my first thing, is I knew that my customers, or our customers, needed to be branded in each location, but general ledger cost accounting per location. So when we look at our clients that we onboard, we count doors. So, whether it's a franchise company, a restaurant company, how many doors do we represent and that we have to get to? And we need to be able to deliver to them within 1 or 2 days ground across the country. Freight's a big component of everybody now. And so with that, we're able to get the speed to market, with Nashville getting 70% of our clients and Phoenix getting 30 to 40% of our clients.
Wow. Wow. So pretty serious stuff.
It's different, like I said, I've been the size of everyone else. When you look, I've been the size of a Search Speedy or Alpha Graphics. I've been the size of mid-sized companies, and what I think what is different about me is I'm not falling into the transactional model of print. I've moved away from that years ago and went to what I consider the service value of what we offer our clients. And so with that, I think, our industry has done a really bad job of changing our name from printers to something that's more, supply chain driven, technology driven. When you look at, data, compliance, whether it's SOC 2, HIPAA, high trust, the amount of CapEx money you spend, the amount of training on people, the technology
before they leave.
Yeah, the technology that you have to run your operation, the technology to touch your customers. I mean, it's a very complex business, and I believe we deserve a better value for what we offer, right? I really do.
Oh my God. I have always preached that we, in the world of print, we're not just printers, and we're actually more important than most of the people that businesses deal with, right? Because without us, how are they reaching their customers? How are they going to sell their product if it isn't in something printed, labeled, blistered, or whatever? So without us, take the pharmacy. If we didn't make labels, drugs wouldn't be sold. If drugs weren't sold, people would be dying. Right. But somehow along the way, and I'm hoping it changes, we had our opportunity to change it at COVID. And not what I mean there is, everybody got their pricing back. But in the last few months, from what I'm hearing from others, they're whining about some of the competitors sliding. My messaging to everyone is really just look at your costs. Decide how much money you want to make, and it's fair because you're allowed to make money. That's why we're all business owners. Figure out what it is and go for it, and then just don't give it away. I mean, my experience was, and we've all done it, but every time I dropped the price to take a job, I ended up doing that job over 3 times.
Yeah, I think when you look at it, you start looking at a job, you're going to take it, you're going to take it on a lower margin or whatever you're going to do. When you start to look at the transactional side, how disruptive does that job become in your own company, right? And does it, you're taking it because it's a huge job and I'm going to bring it in, and then all of a sudden you fail other customers because of it. I think you never look at all the soft costs that go into something like that. And so if you can continue to maintain that, price is just an object in your head. And if you create that value for your client, that really think about what you're offering besides just a transactional piece, the value of your data, the value of a return on investment for them, help them learn to parse their data better, how to save them money on postage, whatever it is. There's so many things you can do. Yet I think what happens is you get in this rut that, hey, I just want to bid a job, get a job, and win it, and deliver it, and be done with it. That's not going to happen anymore. That is not the way.
It doesn't work. Listen, I've had situations where I've gone into some customers and presented some ideas and solutions that they had never been done before, or no one has presented to them, or their current vendor of 5 years has given them no idea of anything because they just got comfortable and lazy sitting in their chair. And I went in and I presented whatever the project was, and it was great. And you know what happened? They came back to me and said, well, you know, the guy who does it now, he could do it at your price. So what are you? And I lost my shit. And I just said, like, 5 years. I said, maybe you should go back and take the difference in price and ask him if he'll pay you that times 5 years just to have the opportunity to print again, because he brought you no solution. And I went to the top of the company and I just said, ethically, it's wrong. Anyways, I got it, but that's how we have to do things. You have to be comfortable enough to stand up, to, you know, take your position and fight for it, and not just get rolled over. And if you're going to present new ideas, I mean, put an NDA on the table, tell them it's a new idea. I don't know. It just, we have to somehow, a lot of people are doing it, take it back. You know, business cards for $20. The shipping is $20. Like, it doesn't, it just for pennies, right? I can't think in pennies. So I love what you're doing, because you're just providing a solution, you're providing the service, and the client is seeing the benefit. So they come back.
You know, Phoenix is not what I consider a global print area like either Minnesota, Chicago, Dallas. You know, and so our clients are all over the country, and so we work with some of the largest enterprise clients across the country, and it's driven by our technology, our service level, our people. And so, you know, I look at that and say the world is a much smaller place, and so, you know, I don't care what state you're in, if you're able to offer that value, you're going to have a great opportunity in the future. Right?
And since COVID, most people are open now to, it doesn't matter where you are, as long as you can get it to me when I need it.
Right. Exactly.
It's the Amazon thing.
Yeah, exactly.
Right.
It's the Amazon effect, and what people expect is the Amazon delivery type of work you're going to do. Right.
Yeah, and as long as they get it. I also know, I'm just curious, you were part of the Graphic Arts Alliance, which was a buying group.
Right.
I was a buying group, a different one, for about 18 years. I know what I know what I thought the benefits were. What are the benefits to being part of a group?
Yeah, I think, you know, one, of course, is the buying and the savings and the rebates you get back, right? That's it. But also just to bounce ideas off each other, come up with some new products that come out that others have used, and to be able to bounce what I consider great ideas off one another. I've been in a pin group with PIA, and in two of them, I've actually generated many great friends out of that. I would tell anyone to do that. Be open and honest, and you'll learn, and also be a giver in that, right? Be a giver to give great ideas and help others succeed.
Well,
right?
Me too. Your peer group becomes your personal board of directors of trust.
Yep, for sure. So,
right. And you know what, from the day I started in print, because I came in not knowing anything, it was always surround yourself with people that are smarter than you, because I figured, let me learn from their mistakes. I'm going to make, I'm sure, a ton of my own. And then joining the peer group was meeting 7-8 new printers at a time, going to 7-8 plants. I've been to 100 plants over my career. Every time I went to a plant, I saw something and learned something new.
Exactly.
Right. And I remember when I was part of the buying group, what I thought was, well, I love the rebates because everything that we can get helps us in the world that we live in.
Right.
But I use the buying group as a marketing
it's
a marketing point, because I talked about my global reach. I talked about my 250 partners, talked about the billions of dollars of revenue we had. So I was able to talk the same way RR Donnelly or World Color at the time, or any of those behemoth companies that aren't so behemoth anymore. But my competitors that couldn't talk it didn't even know what it was.
Exactly right.
Right.
Exactly.
So. And then you can't meet enough people in this industry that are good.
Right.
My experience is good people like to help good people.
I've been really fortunate. This industry has been great to me, great to my family, great to our employees and team members, and also great to our clients. I mean, it's an industry that just needs to reinvent itself all the time, and it needs a new name. That's all, just a new name. So
yeah, a new name, or more people to talk a little prouder of it when they're selling. I mean, I never sold a business card for under $200.
No, it's more than that. You know, I have a lot of young people that we hire. Their parents are concerned when they say they're coming to a company and they say, well, it's a printing company, even though it's not. You know, So I've had parents actually come take a tour just to say, okay, yeah. And it's amazing that you have parents that are that involved with their children, but they want to know that there's a future for them, and they see a great future. There's a great future for people in this industry, and I think it's going to be even better going forward, right? I
Well,
think
oh,
such a great thing to tell.
I think the industry is changing in itself. I think if we talk about it the right way, we're really attractive to younger people.
Right.
People working in production, it's a bit push button now. Images, presses on the screens in front of you, pressmen's hands because inks are coming in canisters aren't getting dirty. People aren't going home caked on. The folder has 200 preset signs on it.
Oh yeah.
Plants are air conditioned now, right? They're doing nice things for employees. But when people say to me, print's dead, I mean, I lose my shit again. And then I start to point out to them in their day from the minute they wake up to where they see print all day. And they all sit there and go, oh my God, you're right. I never thought of it that way. And I said, and when you hear print's dead, it's not dead. The dollars, we're going to hit 850 billion of total print sales global, up from 800. It's just always changing.
It's always changing, and it will continue always changing. I look at owners of these companies. I don't care who they are. They can run any business out there. If they went into any other business, they could run it because they have industrial, they have communications, they have
HR skills,
they have HR. They can work and run any other company. And I think you don't give yourself enough credit for that, because I just look, service level, like what you expect for service level for your people, your sales team. You're usually not a you're not a end provider. You're doing it all, right? So you hold the whole channel. And I think holding that whole channel and being able to be responsible for that channel makes you a great business person. I don't care what level you're at.
Oh, listen, aside from losing all my hair in it, the things that I learned, the people that I met, I don't even know what I learned until I'm in a situation, and then I open my mouth and I start talking, and then people are like, yeah, no, absolutely. And I'm like, okay, cool. Because we take in so much. It's a never ending, right?
Right. I mean, you look at it's the greatest digital transformation between basically 1992 to 2020, right? The unbelievable amount of digital channels that came about. So, and before that, it was print, right? So what happened was that it got eroded, and eroded quickly. A 400-year industry got eroded in about less than 25 years. And now really the strong ones survive. And then there's still going to be some erosion. But as a whole, there's just not, there won't be enough people investing in CapEx and new stuff. If you're not going to be around. You're not going to be here. And so you have to decide, are you in, are you out? And I think that's where people have to really come to grips. You've got a family business that's been around 100 years or 50 years. Are you really in? Or are you going to be out? And I think that's where you see a lot of people, and then finding the commitment of people that are going to take your place, right? Look, I'm 63. I got a little bit of runway left, but you better be mentoring people to take over your company. I've done a great job at that for many years, and I have a great team. And I think that's what you have to look for. You have to really self-examine yourself. Are you going to be the person who's going to keep it going? Are you going to be the person that's going to hand it off, and they're going to take control and honor the legacy you did, and they're going to change it even more than you changed it? And I think that's really important.
Do you have family, like children that are in the business?
I have one son in sales, but I've not been a fan of family businesses. I don't care in any industry. I've seen them. There's some that have done really well. I can tell you, Chris Kurtzman from CJK took his father's company and grew it to $750 million. I've seen Rod Baseman do it in Ohio at Baseman Group. But as a whole, generally, I have not seen the success of family businesses that I think should happen. There's definitely some that are there, but I believe that I hire for the best. The best people are in our position. We have a lot of women in our company that have done unbelievable jobs and bring a different what should happen for customer experience. And so, an industry that was generally dominated by men, I look at that they have done a great value to change this company over the last 22 years, right? 23 years. So
Oh, without a doubt. Listen, the people in the plant, I mean, the bindery people, I mean, women take better care. They're more
Yeah.
concerned, they're more caring.
Client
Right?
service, our IT, you know, how our website is perceived with clients, and just how it operates, the UI on it, everything. It's just been phenomenal.
A little more care than the
Yep,
average man. And
that's
I,
right.
as an average man, I'm not happy to say that, but God created us the way he created us, right?
Right. So
So that's
right.
cool. Awesome. Anyways, I can go on for like hours with you. I could already tell because I got 100 more questions, but I won't. I don't know if people listen to this when it's an hour long.
Right.
Before we get off, anything you want to add, say last words to anyone?
Yeah, I mean, I want everybody just to, you know, if I look at it, I always re-examine what we're doing every year and say, what can I do to change for the better for our clients and our people and our industry? And I think if everyone does that, I hope everyone does that and says, what can be better and what can we offer more for our people, our clients, our community? And I believe that we have a really great industry, and we just need to be really proud of it.
After that, I got nothing else to add because
Right.
I'm just as proud of it. And
Yeah.
I think we have a great thing and we just got to get more people in.
Yep.
And
Warren,
it's
I
great.
appreciate it. Thanks for having me on.
Oh, my pleasure. Pleasure to meet you.
Yeah.
Everybody who's listening, I sure hope you made it this far because it's all good. Some great information. And, you know, if I could say anything that I remember at the end of this show is just be proud of what we do and own it and don't give it away. Warren Werbitt, what they think. I love print.